Literally everyone I know, they get triggered when I do this. I'm about to show you how to make a $10 million business. Before I burn this money, I want to let you know I'm showing you guys right now a very easy online business that anyone can execute to make $10 million. I'm going for 100 million, so at least you could do 10 million or maybe 1 million or maybe just 6 figures. Will that change your life? Ask yourself that question. All right, I'm not going to burn it because I'm going to burn my house down or whatever the case is. But it signifies something a little bit deeper, and I think all of you know it. The recession, inflation, contributing to our money being burnt without us even seeing it. It's a hidden tax. Potential wars with China. China launches 5 fire drills after the Pelosi visit. Is the war going to get bigger? Are we going to go into World War III? Biden administration plans to use public health emergency to address this thing here, and I'm not going to say it because I'm going to get shadow banned. The world's getting absolutely crazy out there. Bank of Europe raises rates by the most since 1995, warns of a long recession. I think you're getting the point. I've made a guide. I know it works. In this video here, I want to show you guys an easy way for you. I'm going for 100 million, like I keep saying in every video. You guys could go for 10 million, okay? Depending on where you are in your journey. Some people are starting from 0. Some people are starting from less than 10K. Leave a comment below if you're starting with less than 10K. I want to see, kind of where my audience is at. You don't have to say the exact number, but give me kind of a rough estimate of where you guys are starting so I can make some better videos for you. But the economy is just absolutely crazy. And I think everybody kind of knows this. Current US inflation rates, 9.1%. This is the largest annual increase since 1981. It just dropped to 8.5%, and people are trying to justify 8.5%. It's all bad. This is basically a hidden tax on your money, not to mention that you guys are already paying taxes to the government. This is just another hidden tax that they're trying to essentially sweep under the rug so that nobody understands it. We have the unofficial definition of a recession, which is basically 2 consecutive quarters of declining gross domestic product, meaning that the economy is shrinking instead of growing. The economy contracted in the first quarter of 2022 after a strong period in the last quarter of 2021. So basically we peaked out in 2021, and then in 2022, we're moving backwards. That is the official, but I've been calling it for what, 6 months, 7 months? How long have we been saying that the market was going to have a major contraction? And this is a widely used indicator, meaning once they officially said it was a recession, if that's the first time, if you guys first heard of the recession in the past couple months, then you're late. The whole point is to be first to the show, not last to the show. If you're just now hearing
it's officially a recession,
and it's still up in the air, people can't even come to the conclusion that it's a real recession or not. If you're just now hearing that, you're late. You're late to the show. It's already hit you. Here's a quote. Only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. What does Warren Buffett mean by that? When the tide goes up, a lot of people are just following the wave. They're benefiting off of the trend of cryptocurrency and riding the wave, but not really providing value as a business. When the tide goes down, it washes away all of the hype and speculation and leaves only the businesses that were truly valuable. And the reason why most people don't even understand that their bank account is losing purchasing power and they don't even get it is because most people live a distraction-filled life. Most people, and maybe this sounds like you, are living in a simulation. What do I mean by that? Think about it. You spend 1/3 of your life sleeping. Then you wake up and go to work, in which you spend another 1/3 of your life working, which is probably on a screen. Then you come home and spend the last 1/3 of your life watching Netflix, video games, or social media, spending pretty much the majority of your life on a screen. You don't even realize it, but your reality is pretty much on the internet. You're living in the matrix. For some people, ignorance is a bliss, but for others, distractions hold you back from actually achieving true financial independence. You cannot ignore the pain. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you sat there, okay, and had a consistent pattern of you checking your bank account numbers? Most people don't even know how much money they're spending a month. When's the last time you calculated how much money you're spending on groceries per month? You don't do that, right? Most people don't do that. And the reason I say this is because most people don't want that pain. And I'm going to talk about human psychology today. I want to explain to you how to control your own human psychology, and then how to go and look at other people's human psychology to predict their habits and use investment strategies, okay, to reverse engineer weaker people. If you can reverse engineer what the crowd is doing, then you can make large amounts of money. But most people don't check their bank account. So how do you know inflation's even affecting you in the first place if you don't even check your own bank account once a day? If you don't even check and see how much money you're spending on a monthly basis, that's why you can't save $500 a month and use it to invest. Because you're just not on point. It's painful to look at your bank account. It's painful to open up that app and look at how much money you spent and lost on these subscriptions that you don't even care about. That gym subscription you're not even using. That Netflix subscription. All of that stuff, taking money, it hurts. Every single dollar you see pulled out of your bank account, that's pain signal to your brain. All right? You still have goals though. And everybody does, right? Everybody wants to make as much money as possible. They want to come out swinging. They want to make $1 million, right? And we have the specific annoying event. It's like so annoying that just came out of nowhere that's holding everybody back from making a lot of money. But I'm here to tell you that is just a mindset. The recession is just a mindset. This might be one of the greatest opportunities we have ever witnessed in our entire life. Let me say it again. If you are right now in the midst of recession, if you are over the age of like 15 years old, I mean, there's some people that do it when they're 12. But if you're over the age of 15 years old and younger than the age of 65, and I know some 65-year-olds killing it, but if you're in that bracket, you are literally in the greatest time to make money in the last like 30, 40 years. This is the greatest time since 2008. Since 2008, there's never been a better time to make money. The odds are stacked against you, but if you ask me, it's better that way. Let me tell you a little story. It's called Burn the Boats. Remember this story when you're dealing with something very hard. There was a general, and he was looking to take over a nation in which stood on a beach and had huge walls and a massive defense. Pretty much all odds were stacked against him. But as he shored to take over and conquer this nation, he saw that all of his soldiers were extremely fearful. So he burned every single boat that he came on shore with and gave the soldiers no option. They were outnumbered. They were attacking a stronghold. They had every statistical disadvantage. And because of the simple fact that he chose to give them no option at all, they actually persevered and ended up conquering that nation. The beauty of this, and I've experienced this in my own life, is that when there's no other option, when there's no plan B, there's no plan C, there's no plan D, when all the odds are stacked against you, for some reason in human nature, we find a way to make it through. It's like you've seen it in every single movie, right? You've seen it throughout time. We find a way to make it through every single time. So if you ask me, I like it when the odds are stacked against me because it makes my blood boil. It makes the hairs on my legs stand up. It gives me goosebumps because I know I have this big event that I have to overcome in my life. And I don't know about you guys, but maybe you're struggling financially. Maybe you're struggling to get a girl or whatever the case is. Maybe you're struggling. I don't know your life, but I know most people can't exit the rat race. And being that we're in an economy right now where like even people with money are struggling, you have no choice. You have no choice but to fix everything that you've been going through. All of his soldiers had no choice. His soldiers had no choice but to win, because if they didn't win, they're guaranteed to die. And I've done this in my life over and over again to get the results I've wanted. You know, when I was originally an entrepreneur 4 or 5 years ago, when I originally started, I went broke many times. There was even times where I had to move back in with my parents. But what I noticed is that when I put myself in a situation, which was kind of like the final move out, right? I moved out of my parents' house and I put myself in a situation where I had no money. I even sold my car to move back to Gainesville. I moved to Gainesville and I put myself in a life or death situation. My parents couldn't bail me out. I would get evicted if I couldn't pay rent. And I basically had to scratch, kick, and do everything I possibly can to make as much money as possible as an entrepreneur to basically survive. And this situation is what turned me into a monster. These situations are what turned me into somebody that's actually willing to change. I was literally in this burn the boat situation. And what did that make me do? It made me into a monster. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It made me into a guy where there was no option for me but to get the end result of investing in crypto and building my YouTube channel and getting to the next level of finances, right? And it actually happened. One of the months I made like $300. I made $300 in cash flow. And it was the greatest thing I've ever witnessed in my life because with the internet, with a laptop, I made $300. My total expenses were like $2,000, including food. So I'm like, bro, if I can make $300, I'll take a credit card out, pay the rest of my expenses. Next month, I'm making $600. Next month, I'm making, $1,000. And that's exactly what happened. I started scaling it up. And then next thing you know, we did $400,000, $400,000 in a month, right? So the point is, when you put yourself into that corner where you have no other option, you make it happen. And the economy right now is putting us in a situation where a lot of us, we don't have any other option. Tell me if I'm not wrong here. You have no choice but to win. You have no choice but to get it out of the mud. You have no choice but to do the thing you should be doing. And that's the beauty of today's current situation. It's time for you to boss up and become the person you wanted to become for the past 5 years, but have been failing over and over again. It's time to get you to the next level. Think about life, right? It's all about getting the correct answer. Think about your day, right? Think about everything you do. It's basically a construct of every decision you make, right? What to eat, what to wear, what to purchase, what you believe, what career you should go in. Are you going to watch this Netflix episode? Are you going to watch this one over here? Are we going to go to the gym, right? Are you going to, take a bath today, right? Are you going to brush your teeth today? There's like, on average, 10,000 decisions made per person every single day. So even you waking up at a certain time is a decision. And when you don't act, that's a decision too. So when you don't do something, that's a decision. And the point I'm trying to make is that right now, if you look at the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is essentially an index of all of the biggest tech companies and, the biggest companies, the top 500 companies in the stock market, right? Look what happened right after the housing market crash in 2008. We went on this epic parabolic bull run that lasted till 2022. Think about that. That's a long time to be making money. So people don't realize this, but although the economy is going down, right? Look what businesses got started right after 2008. We got Airbnb, one of the biggest, you can call it vacation, but it's like a real estate business, right? It's like decentralized real estate. Netflix. I'm sure you watch Netflix right now. You guys know, I don't even got to say it. Venmo, Uber, these names you know. And most of them got their start literally right after the housing crash in 2008. Right after this big contraction, they made it happen by any means necessary. And look at the rewards they got for it. This is how it works. This is how business works. A lot of people look to, I want to make money, but you should be looking more, okay, like what Warren Buffett said, you should be looking on how to survive the bad times. Because what happens is when the market contracts, there's a lot of weak people, weak business owners. Like just because someone makes $1 million, I know a lot of you glorify people that make a lot of money, but these guys are lazy, man. I'm telling you right now, from a person that's done the numbers and I got lazy myself. This is kind of how it works. What happens is when you make a large lump sum of money, now you have like this plot of cash. You have these resources that you've never had before. And so you start spending it on stupid things. And the same thing for me. And you get lazy. It's like this level of laziness. When you're broke and you have nothing, right? You maximize everything you get. But when you have a lot and you have plentiful, then you're kind of just shifting through time and you're just getting whatever you want, right? So I was buying whatever laptop I want. I got iPads. I bought the Tesla Model 3. I bought this. I bought that. I was buying food every day. I was eating out. Like I gained weight. Like that's how it works. If you guys didn't know, a lot of business owners, although they've made a lot of money, their current state, right? So when they make that large lump sum of money, their current state is weaker than a person that doesn't have any money. I know this for a fact. I got guys that are working for me that work way harder than me, right? So the point is, stop glorifying these people just because they're in a certain situation. They've just been doing it for longer than you. They've been in business for longer. So it doesn't mean they're better or have a better strategy or have this thing that's better. It just means that they've been doing it for longer. And this is their time to get washed out. This is their time. Some business owners are not going to get washed out. I'm taking it to the next level. I'm sorry. I'm pushing myself. I'm going to go get a six pack. I have been cooking. I'm good. Like I'm pushing myself and you guys know it. You've been watching my videos. I'm going to take it to the next level. But there is like the vast majority, like 95% of these business owners that are going to get washed out in this recession. How many of your friends that own business are, COVID took me out. The recession's taking me out. I got to close my business. How many of them? How many of them are making excuses for themselves, right? Some people, that's a state of mind. That's a state of mind. And what that means for you, the underdog, is it gives you a chance to swoop in while they're all dying, right? Out with the old, in with the new. This is your opportunity. It's not about when the market's doing good. It's about when the market contracts, who can survive the tide. That's what it's about, because when the next wave comes, they'll have a strategic advantage of already being in business. They're already in business, so when the next tide comes, they're riding that wave up. Everyone can ride the wave up. It's who can stand their ground when the wave comes down, and most people can't. That's the point of this chart. Look, when this contracts, everybody's losing money. Everybody's going out of business. That's the way it works, right? So look at the businesses that got started. Airbnb, Netflix, Venmo, Uber, right? The housing market crash washed them out with the old, in with the new. That's how it works, right? So what I'm trying to explain is that it's literally finally your time to shine, to make that business you want, right? To invest in whatever you want, right? To reap the benefits of a cheaper market and cheaper, business owners. Take advantage of this, right? The best time to make money is right now, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it with two things. Obviously, everyone's heard of it, but no one knows how to pull it off, and no one tells you the truth. It's called cash flow and investing. Cash flow and investing. Cash flow and investing. Cash flow and investing. But what is it today? Today, we're going to be talking about mostly cash flow. That's what I'm going to focus on. My audience, they know about investing. Most of you know and understand investing, so I'm going to jump into the cash flow side, all right? The most lucrative skill set in the entire world for any industry, I really don't care what industry you guys are talking about, is understanding human psychology. Okay. So understanding how people think on different levels is by far the most important thing you could ever acquire as a skill set. And it literally works for every single job. It literally works for everything. If you want to get a raise at your job, entrepreneur or not, you want to get a raise at your job, understand who gives the raises, understand their psychology, then submit to their cognitive biases, and you will get that raise. I guarantee it. If you understand who is going to give you a raise and you reverse engineer how they think, you will get your raise. I guarantee it. See, in my personal perspective, some people think that the money makes the world go round. I don't think that's true. Money's printed by the Federal Reserve, and it's basically valueless and give credibility by the United States. So I don't think money makes the world go round. Personally, I think people make the world go round, and money's used as a ploy to control people, but people make the world go round. You won't have anyone, there's no gas, there's no nothing, there's no food if there's not people putting them in grocery stores and people putting the gas into gas pumps and gas tanks, right? Like nothing happens. Like every resource around you was made by a person. It's just that money controls the people. So really, people make the world go round, right? Money equals time, if you think about it, right? Because let's say hypothetically, you go to your job, right? You go to your job and you're working for $25 an hour. You're giving them an hour, they're giving you $25, right? So really, you're encapsulating your time in this dollar, and then it's being devalued by the government without you even knowing with this hidden tax called inflation, right? But the point is, you have to control people, and the money is used right now to control the most people, but there's people that control people without money through narratives, right? Through controlling people's psychology. If you could just control people's psychology, then it's more effective than paying 1,000 people. If you can say something like, hey, 1,000 people, go wash these cars, and they do it for free, that's way more effective than paying these 1,000 people dollars, right? Because then you have to go get the money, right? It's just it's a step of inefficiency. So if you understand people's psychology, you can get whatever you want for free, right? And you can also make money off investing. So if you understand other people's control methods for psychology, then that means you understand how they do it, and you can invest in the best narratives, right? So this is really good for cash flow and investing. It's basically everything. It's everything. I'm telling you right now, it's everything. So let's talk about, for example, I'm going to give you some realistic, tangible examples, motivation and emotions. Okay, so we're going to talk about specifically, what gets people to move, basically. What gets people out of bed? What gets people to think? What gets people to do something hardcore? I'm going to break it down at a scientific level for you so you understand what I'm talking about. So there's different types of motivation, okay? So there's pool motivation, which is understood in terms of environmental variables that describe external sources of motivation, like incentives or goals. This is what I'm talking about. When you pay someone, that's an incentive and it gets them to move, right? Our internal sources of motivation interact with external sources to direct behavior. Our history also explains aspects of motivation, right? So if you come from a background of, basketball players, you're probably going to be motivated to be a basketball player, right? Lifelong experiences, role models, and personality traits drive who we are as people. Emotions also serve as motive. So there's all different types of motives, right? Some people can trigger your emotions. Some people pay you to do things. Some people, will make the world look a certain way to get you to do something. Like they'll blow up a bomb and scare everybody, right? Like, I'm not saying anyone's blowing up a bomb, but you get the point. They'll do like this massive action that gets everybody to think that the world's in a certain way. But all of these things are used to motivate people and drive motivation. There's also psychological needs like hunger, thirst, sex, and biological beginnings that eventually manifest themselves as psychological drive in a person's subjective awareness. So I don't know if you guys have seen, this Andrew Tate dude, and he's essentially tapping into the sex drive because he's showing he could get any girl he wants, like he's literally controlling people through that, right? The drive theory of motivation tells us the psychological needs originate in our bodies, right? So as a psychological system attempts to maintain health, it registers in our brain psychological drive to satisfy a psychological craving and motivates us to bring the system from deficiency towards homeostasis. What they mean by that is, for example, you ever been hungry and then you go grocery shopping and you just buy way too much food? It's because your stomach is trying to bring you back to homeostasis, a normal state of being. Another thing I do, if you guys don't cook, if you don't like cooking, do this. Make yourself extremely hungry and then go shopping, buy the food, and then right after, go to cooking. Like just force yourself to cook. Don't buy any food. Don't eat out. You can literally drive yourself to make sure you eat clean by doing that, by just staying hungry while you shop and cook. I do it all the time. It's actually a very, very good motivation. And if you understand these things, you can use it to push yourself in direction. You can use it to trick your psychology into doing the right thing. And not only that, but you can look and see who's not tricking their psychology and who's being basically controlled by their emotions and motivations, and use that to make money. We'll explain more. Goal motivation, right? This is like a spring to action, right? Everybody knows what this is, right? You set a goal, you want to lose weight, you push yourself in a direction that allows you to lose that weight, right? So whether it's your diet or working out more, whatever the case is, but you push yourself in that direction and then hopefully you lose weight. Most people don't do it, but goals like mindsets, belief, expectations, or self-concept are sources of internal motives are together referred as cognition. Okay, so if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. So basically, I think everybody understands goal motivation. Now, I want to talk about really quickly how to set correct goals because I just think it's important. And I know a lot of you are trying to do things and overcome your own psychology. So I want to show you kind of like how I set goals really quickly. So what you need to do is set a goal that's difficult, specific, and consistent. Okay, so when you set it difficult, what happens? A lot of people set goals too easy. When you set it difficult, it energizes you and it pushes you to go further than you otherwise would have gone if you set it very easy, right? When you do it consistent, right, you have a plan that's like a daily thing, it sustains behavior and it allows you to do it over and over again and develop a habitual pattern. And then when it's very, very, very specific, then it allows you to stay on point. It allows you to direct your behavior. Okay, so it sustains the behavior when it's consistent, but when it's specific, it directs the behavior. So for me, what I'm doing now for my diet, and I'm going strong, I'm already down like 15 pounds, is I'm being very specifically just only eating 2 meals a day. And I'm cutting out like 90% of the carbs I used to eat, and very specifically not drinking any juice at all. And if I do drink juice, very specifically, I'm drinking 0-calorie juice. So this is just like, if I just stick to that, I know for a fact I'm going to win. I don't even need to work out, right? And this gives you the enhanced performance. Most people don't even know how to goal set, but if you use this to your advantage, you can control your psychology. And I just wanted to throw that in there for you guys. And there's also motivation and emotion, right? So a lot of times, I know you've experienced this, right? You go through like these huge motivational spurts, and some people think it's like bad. Some people think it's like, oh, motivation is not discipline, blah, blah, blah. But really, you could use those in your times where like your life is sucking, right? You're burning out, or someone died, or some type of massive pain in your life. You could actually use those motivations to get you out of those ruts. So those motivation videos on YouTube, they're not bad. They're not bad for you. It's just that people overuse it and abuse it, and they don't know how to use it in specific times, right? So everybody has, by the way, I want to talk about a little bit more emotions. Everyone's heard of the term emotional traders. So when we're talking about investing or trading and the market is going up, the market makers know that everybody's trying to bring new people into the market, and they're super exuberant, right? Everybody's exuberant. Everybody's overhyped, and everything works. Every coin is this 100x, right? So they use that emotion against you. And it's the same thing when the market's dropping. Like right now, everybody's getting emotionally sad. Everybody's getting down in the dumps. Like, dang, man, what's going on with the market? And so they use that against you too, so that they push you in this position of massive fear so that you can't buy. You don't buy at the right time, right? They make you, and they do these two extremes to essentially knock you off your game. That's the whole point, right? We feel these experiences and they motivate and guide our behavior and decision making. But most importantly, they have a significant impact on our mental and physical health. So again, if you can control these things and you can see how society is emotionally oppressing you, okay? Or society, market makers, whoever. Some people emotionally abuse you, your friends and your family. They'll emotionally drive you in directions you shouldn't be going. This is why they always say, hang around people that have your best interests at heart, right? Your network is your net worth, right? People always say that, right? The whole point is that there's certain people that are going to push you in the right direction and there's certain people that are not. And you can control it. Like, you don't necessarily need to have like a whole bunch of rich friends, but if you have a whole bunch of poor friends, don't listen to them, don't follow what they do, and have an emotional control to stay away from their habits. Although it's much easier just to be around people that are better. You can have broke friends. Like, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But the point is that there's these big emotions that boil up that lead to feelings, bodily responses, expressive behaviors. You ever like get mad and just say some BS and then you look back and you're like, wow, that was like stupid of me to say? You guys ever done that before? Where you have like this emotional like outrage or whatever the case is because someone triggered you for whatever reason, and then like maybe you caught it on recording or maybe you just remember specifically what you said, and I was like, and then you tell yourself like, oh, that was like actually ridiculous. I don't even know what I was thinking. Emotions move us. And people just don't get it, but it really does move everything. People think that they're like in their head, they're just like these logical creatures that can just make things happen and that they know that everything they're thinking is correct. And it's like, no, sometimes you got to be aware of your energy. You got to be aware of your emotions, of what you're at, right? So sometimes when I'm sad or mad or down, I'm not going to make any big decisions. Like, even though like when I'm sad and I'm like, all right, that's probably the right thing to do in my head. If it affects my money and it affects my business and it affects other people's lives, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to even think about it. I'm going to try to suppress that until I'm in the right state of mind. I only make big decisions when I'm at the highest of my game. Sometimes I only make videos when I'm at the highest of my game on purpose. You got to know where to recognize where your emotions are, right? If you're feeling extra emotional, take a day off, relax, and step back, or do a light day. Don't go hard, because if you know how to control this, then you're going to consistently make the big decisions when you are at your best, which is when you should only make any decision. So here's some popular emotions marketers use against you, market makers use against you. Obviously, we have joy, sadness, amazement, shock, humor, anger. All of these things can be put in videos. They can be used in advertising campaigns. Your friend can emotionally shock you or amaze you, right? There's even in this video, there's emotions. Like, remember, I don't know if you guys remember when I took the money and I went like this. That's like emotionally moving. It's like, oh, I feel Alex is going to burn the money. I do it on purpose to trigger you, to show you that this controls you. This dollar, right, that controls who you are. It doesn't control me. I've controlled myself. I understand my emotions. And somebody else burning money or cutting money, it doesn't mean anything to me. It really does. This does not mean anything to me. And that's the point, is I'm proving a point to you guys that this money is irrelevant, right? So if you can control these emotions and recognize when you're in it and fight against it, you can actually become a much better trader and build these cash flow systems, right? There's also motivations and personality. So some people are just motivated in different ways based off their life experiences and who they are as a person, right? So for example, there's some people that are just more agreeable. Some people are just extroverted. Some people are introverted. Some people are neurotic and are just more depressed all the time. And that will push them to make decisions that they don't want to make, right? So for example, extroverts tend to have high impact careers to satisfy their power motive, and they're more likely than introverts to do volunteer work to fulfill their affiliation. And then it's vice versa. Like, if people are depressed all the time, they're more likely to be put in a bad mood and are less likely to be satisfied with their relationships and careers, and likely to drink and do these things and escape, right? And here's another example. Individuals with higher grades are likely to get health enhancing behaviors, right? And people that are highly agreeable are more likely to help their friends and siblings in distress, and right? And they should be working in nursing. But the point is that there's so many things that motivate you to do different things, right? So motivation for change. And we know this is a big one too. There could be a massive negative effect on you, right? So here's kind of a quote. Some changes look negative on the surface, but you will soon realize that space is being created in your life for something new to emerge. You guys hear me say that all the time. I use these big negative experiences, like whether you lost money in crypto, there's a death, or whatever the case is. I use those negative experiences to motivate me and push me to the next level in whatever area of my life. So you can use these big motivations for change, these paradigm shifts in your life to get you to the next level, right? Here's also from Abraham Maslow. He's, look, I came to this conclusion without even reading this quote, but in my personal opinion, I think the best way to motivate yourself is to become the truest representation of who you are, right? So when you push yourself in a position where you're getting better at your signature strengths, that's kind of like the meaning of life, in my personal opinion. On the whole, I think it's fair to say that human history is a record of ways in which human nature has been sold short. The highest possibilities of human nature have practically always been underrated. And what he basically means, okay, is that it's a consistent kind of failure thing. Like everybody's failing their way, but then every so often you get these small wins. And these small wins, right, are you getting to the next level, this paradigm shift, this growth, right? When you lost that 15 pounds and then you weigh yourself and you're like, oh, I got this small win. It's like a whole bunch of like, as you say here, right? The highest possibilities of human nature have practically always been underrated, right? It's all these like sell short events, these underwhelming events. And then there's just one big event where you actually get that growth, right? Motivation with happiness, right? So positive emotions, whether you believe it or not, when you're optimistic, right? Positive emotions give you novel thoughts, activities, and relationships, right? And then they build enduring personal relationships with other positive people. And then eventually you have an enhanced health and survival fulfillment. You can run faster. You can have a better ability to get resources, like get a better job, right? Like right now, like people don't get this. Although I'm an entrepreneur, if everything went belly up, I'm getting a job making $500,000 a year. I'm a high functioning individual. I know marketing to a high level. I know investing in crypto to a high level. So I could work at a hedge fund. I could work here. I could work at Coinbase. It doesn't even matter. Like once you manifest, I don't want to say manifest, but once you attract all of this positivity in your life, you can get motivated, right? This positive feedback loop of other positivity in your life, getting you to the next level. And this is adding on what we said before. Martin argued that genuine happiness and life satisfaction has little to do with pleasure, right? Let me explain. So when you give yourself that car or you buy that boat, which by the way, I want to go boat shopping. Okay. I'm going boat shopping. I'm going to be doing my work and shooting my videos on a boat in the future, guys, because that's what I want to do, man. That's a goal of mine, and I'm going to hit it. But it has little to do with that pleasure, okay? What it really is developing this personal strengths and character, right? Those moments when you dig deep and you get through the hard times, or those moments when you get that big W, right? That, in my personal opinion, is the meaning of happiness. When you hit that new PR, when you get that new girlfriend, that thing that you've been fighting for happens, right? And you get that personal growth, right? That's what, in my personal opinion, is the meaning of happiness. And here's kind of another quote explaining that. The best moments in our lives are not the passive, receptive, relaxing times. The best moments usually occur when a person's body or mind is stretched to its limited and voluntary effort to accomplish something difficult and worthwhile. It's so funny because I went on a whole bunch of vacations in 2021, and the one that I keep saying was the best one, it was the best vacation, was when I went to Breckenridge. And the reason why was not because it was relaxed. Like we were in the snow, we were, in a jacuzzi and chilling in the snow, and it was great. And we got great food and all that stuff. But the part I remember the most was when we went hiking, and there was this mountain that was extremely scary. I'm talking about, it was like life or death type of climbing. And we had no harnesses. We had nothing. And that was the moment that like was so clear. Like if I look back on that vacation, everything else is kind of a blur. But the moment that I remember the most, that gave me the most satisfaction, was when all of us, our team, climbed that mountain. And I remember being in extreme fear. Like I am not that guy. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm not that guy. Like I'm not like, I like to be, like I'd like to do crazy stuff like jump off cliffs, but it still scares me just as much as the next guy. But I just remember climbing up that mountain, and it was like extreme panic. That's me pushing, right? That's me pushing my mind and body and stretching its limit. That's what that is. Also, my first crypto cycle, I took my family on a massive vacation all over the world. We went to Hania, Greece, and I have a video of me jumping off this mountain into water, like things like that, right? And that's like the physical thing. But there's so many other things, like your finances, right? The business that you wanted to run, the health that you wanted to get. Like when you push your limits to these mental capacities, that's where real growth happens, and that's where the happiness is, in my personal opinion. So I just want to educate you a little bit on some ways to motivate you and the different motivations in your life. And you're probably asking a question: what does all this psychological talk have to do with me? Well, it just happens to be that, again, human psychology is the most lucrative skill set on planet Earth. I'm educating you. I'm trying to give you value, right? I'm educating you on the thing, okay? But really, okay, if we come over here, if you learn yourself and know how to control yourself, it gives you kind of like this superpower of massive focus, massive energy. You can get anything done, okay? That's kind of why you control your own human psychology. But really, if you learn human nature to a high level, then essentially you can learn human nature on an internet level. If you learn yourself to a high level, then you can learn what holds people back and what gets people to the next level, right? Then you learn human nature with finances. Guess what? What is cryptocurrency? Finance and internet. It's essentially finance and internet encapsulated in a coin. So if you can learn the internet nature and how people act on the internet, right? Which you might think you know, but there's a scientific level of understanding on this, okay? There's a very deep scientific level and there's concepts that you guys never heard before, I guarantee it. So if you learn the internet psychology to a high level, if you knew internet psychology, you'd be rich. Just to be clear with everybody. I know there's a lot of people, I know how people act on the internet. No, you don't. You don't. And you learn finance psychology to a high level, right? And how people think with finances, and you can merge those. This is how you predict the heck out of everything, okay? Now, I want to talk about, because I know, again, like I said, a lot of people are thinking, oh, I kind of already know how cryptocurrency psychology is. Let me ask you a question. If you've never gotten punched in the face before, and I tried to explain to you, so let me explain it to you. When you get punched in the face, this is how it feels. The knuckle hits you and you feel this hard impact on your cheek and your face goes numb and there's like this ringing feeling and you kind of get dazed and you lose sight of reality for like a couple seconds. And then next thing you know, there's like this numbing feeling and then your tooth hurts and then there's blood and you taste blood and it tastes like a coin, right? Like blood tastes like a dirty coin, right? And it's like, oh, you taste the blood on your lip, right? So I'm explaining it. And maybe that gives you like a 50% perspective of what it really feels like. But some of you have gotten punched in the face, and I want you to leave a comment below. There's a huge difference from actually getting punched in the face rather than someone explaining it to you. It's like an experience difference, right? So, for example, I can explain to you how to invest, but unless you actually invest yourself, you're never going to really know the truth. I can explain to you what a punch feels like, right? But you're never going to really know what a punch feels like until you get punched yourself. I can explain to you how communities and marketing works in crypto, but you're never going to really know unless you build a community yourself. This is where we're hitting home here, is getting deep, right? The best way to show you how to invest in cryptocurrency, and this is the thing that's been limiting me so much, is to not only show you how to trade, but it's to show you the most important aspect of every cryptocurrency on the market, which is marketing. If you guys understand really how to build communities, if you get how they're created and you build one yourself, it's going to make you a savage in investing. And guess what? If you understand how to build communities, it's going to give you the cash flow you've always been looking for. Crypto is 90% marketing. I want you guys to answer this question in the comment section below as well. Out of all the cryptos you've ever held, give me a time that you use their product. Give me just one time, give me something that you use them for a purpose other than in holding. Staking is not using a product, okay? That's them getting you to hold it, right? So out of all the cryptos you hold, which one are you using for the purpose other than price appreciation? So which one you're like, oh, I bought this crypto because I want to use their internet access. Oh, I bought this crypto because I want to use this thing. The only reason you buy the crypto is for a price appreciation. It's all speculation. 95% of every single person watching this video, only reason you ever bought a crypto is for the number to go up. And staking is not a product. Staking is just another way to sell you number go up. When you stake it, they're selling you 40% APY. That's for price appreciation. That is not valuable, right? But when you buy Netflix, you're buying Netflix to watch the show, bro. That's a product. When you buy Netflix, you're not buying it because you think you're going to make money. Think. You're buying Netflix because you want to watch a video. It's completely different. When you're buying cryptos, you're buying them because you want to make money. That's speculation. It's completely different. Basically, all of crypto, there is no product, and we're experiencing this now. That's the reason why these cryptos go down 90%, and all the altcoins go down 90%, because there's just no product. There's literally no product, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a new industry. It's brand new. This is how it goes in every new industry but I want you guys to recognize it for what it is, right? Basically, every single coin has some type of ploy to get you to hodl. It has a narrative to get you to hold every single cryptocurrency on the market, right? But again, it's like brand new. This is the way it's supposed to work, right? DeFi just literally hit its first cycle. We literally had Uniswap come out last bear run and it just now got its adoption, right? NFTs are just now getting really popular. They were back in the day, CryptoKitties back in the day was a thing, but just now they're hitting the mainstream. So this is kind of how it works. Eventually the products will come out, but let me be clear. Right now, the game is 90% market making, marketing, 90% understanding audiences, 90% community driven. How can we get more eyeballs on our product? Understanding the marketing aspect is the most important factor of predicting any single cryptocurrency on the entire market for appreciation or depreciation, for the number going up or you shorting and making money on that number. This is how I've been able to call so many things. Now, let me give you a couple pointers here on how a coin appreciates, okay? The first thing is this tokenomics. Have they set up the token in a way where it makes it easier for price appreciation? How easy is it going to pump, right? The marketing strategy. How many eyeballs can they get on their coin? How many different people, how many audiences can they reach out to? And you guys know this with the marketing, right? You've seen the marketing campaigns and all these things. How many different eyeballs can they get on their coin, right? Third one, ease of use. How easy is it to get the person to buy, right? Which is another form of a narrative. It's basically a tutorial, right? If you can get a whole bunch of eyeballs and then motivate them to use Uniswap or motivate them to use Coinbase to buy their coin, right? That's essentially a narrative. That's essentially marketing, right? Ease of use. How many new people can you get to buy the coin? And then the last part, which I think is the most important and it gives you the most reward, okay, is how many people can you convert into cult-like followers? This is basically, this gets people to hold the coin for long periods of time, regardless of where the price goes. And this is extremely important because it allows the price to remain stable while new people buy. If the coin is more sticky, a coin is more likely to appreciate in price. These are all narratives. There's no one putting a gun to anyone's head saying buy the coin and hold it. It's marketing. It's marketing. It's narratives. It's community. It's pretty much the whole game. That's the whole entire game is that in crypto. That's all the fundamentals is getting people to hold for long periods of time. Understanding the effectiveness of a narrative is the only thing that determines pumps and dumps. I know for a fact, okay? And this is how I was able to call the massive dump on April 27th. Long time ago. You guys should know this by now. I've been 95% out of the market for 3-4 months, right? While people are experiencing this negative like 60-something% decline, I've been out of the market. And now I have all this dry powder to buy the dip, okay? Instead of understanding the HODL narrative, you fell victim to the HODL narrative. A lot of you fell victim to sit and forget. I'm just going to hold it forever. To be honest with you, holding for long periods of time is the answer. But the problem is that you have to sell the top, right? So you hold, when they say hold for long periods of time, that only works when you buy the bottom. When you buy the bottom, then yes, you hold for long periods of time. But it also works for cash flow. And this is why cash flow is so important. Let me explain why, okay? People don't even understand what cash flow means. So basically, when you invest, when you do a position trade, the goal is to buy the bottom and sell the top. But the problem is that the bottom is so far away from the top. The bottom is like a 3-year difference from the top. We all know this, especially in crypto. And it's really for every cycle. If you look at the bottom of the S&P 500 in 2008, the bottom was, 18 years? I'm doing rough math off the top of my head. 18 years away from the top we just experienced in 2021. 17, 18 years, right? So that's a long way to be holding, okay? So if you really want to exit the system, become financially independent and get out of your job, the goal here is to have those consistent small wins, right? Those small month-to-month wins so you can pay your bills and you can feel comfortable. And then every so often, when the cycle hits this huge cash out event, which is at the top of the cycle, that's when you cash out. You get the big wins at the end, right? The long-term big wins, but you need a system that gives you the small wins on a consistent basis that's not reliant on a job, right? Because the goal here is to exit the system, right? So there's a lot of ways to get cash flow, but it's very important that you get the small wins and the big win. The big win gets you rich. The small wins keep you consistent throughout time, right? And in cryptocurrency, not a lot of people want to say this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. There's only 2 opportunities in crypto. There's literally only 2 opportunities to make cash flow in crypto. I know this for a fact. is short-term trading, which we all know is very hard, but it's doable. People say it's impossible, but it's not impossible. And number 2, building communities. That's it. And it's not like one's better than the other. It's more like, what is your personality type, right? Are you a number-oriented guy, or are you a people person, right? And when I mean people person, it doesn't mean that you can talk to people. I'm talking about, do you understand people to a high level, right? You don't need to be an extrovert to be a people person. I'm technically not an extrovert. Day trading is not my personality type. I look at numbers a lot, and you guys know I use quantitative measures to determine market conditions, but really I know how to read people. That's what I do the best. And I'm sure a lot of you do the same thing, right? And you know how they say, I hate it when they say this, when they say 90% of traders fail. I really hate it. You know why? In anything in life, the cream of the crop people that make a lot of money, 90% of people fail in everything. 90% of people fail in sales. 90% of people fail in marketing. 90% of people fail in everything, right? You know this, right? Not just trading. The reason why they're saying that in trading is because they're trying to discourage people from buying and selling. They want people to hold, but really 90% of everyone fails in everything. That's the truth. No matter what big venture, if you want to make $1 million, you are a part of the 1%, my man. I don't care what you're doing. You could be selling rocks. 90% of people fail selling rocks. You could be selling solar panels. 90% of people fail at selling solar panels. I know this for a fact. And what I mean by fail is getting to the highest levels, right? The top 1% owned a record 32.3% of the nation's wealth at the end of 2021. The share of wealth held by the bottom 90% of Americans has declined slightly before the pandemic. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And there's a minority of people that are rich. So again, the same statistic. The upper 10% of people are the winners. The 90% below are the losers. So it's not trading specifically. They're just saying it in that way to get you to think a certain thing. Think. Right? 90% of everybody loses. And a guaranteed way to fail, I know this for a fact, it's not the strategy, it's not, how you do things. It's working in an area that you physically suck at, okay? Working on something that does not align with your strengths. So there's a lot of you that are trading right now that are not traders. You're not traders. You're a people person. And again, you could be introverted and be a people person, right? There's a lot of editors out there that understand human psychology that can pitch a story, but they do not like being seen in public. There's a lot of writers out there that are writing these beautiful articles that do not want to be seen in public, that want to be anonymous, right? So again, you have to recognize, are you a data-driven person? Are you a numbers guy? Do you like math, right? Are you good at math to a high level? If you are, then it's probably day trading. Again, qualitative people should be creating or assisting in the cash flow mechanism of creating communities. Qualitative people should be creating communities, and then quantitative people should be getting involved with short-term trading, on-chain investigation, data science, et cetera, et cetera. And both of them work. Right? It's like everyone wants to make it seem like their thing works the best, but it's just all of them work. It's just, the point here is to put yourself in a position that you win. And your signature strength, like we were explaining before with the motivations. If you put yourself in your signature strength, it's like this positive motivation feedback loop of winning, right? And yeah, Fundamental Secrets has both, to be honest with you. And what we talk about on this channel, as you guys can imagine, is both. I'm gonna get Will on here. He's a short-term trading guy. He's a data-driven person. He's gonna be showing you guys short-term trading strategies. And then we also have, of course, creating the community element, which I think is the big part that's missing. A lot of people in crypto right now, they don't know what to do. Their hands are tied behind their back. They're all like trying to figure out what to do, but really the answer is to build communities. So I'm the guy that creates communities, obviously, right? So I'm going to show you a 3-step process on how to build your own cash flow system and then scale it to 10 million in this video right now. I'm just going to give you the entire answer. I'm going to do the math literally right in front of you on how you can scale it to 10 million and everybody can basically win. And just to be clear with you, I did it last cycle and I'm doing it again this cycle to get 100 million. So I'm 10xing my last year's revenue and I'm getting to 100 million. That is my goal. And I just want to be very clear. I do this myself. I'm doing it myself. So I'm practicing what I preach. Okay. I am obviously further in the game. So look, maybe it's not 10 million. Maybe it's a million. Maybe you get that 100K and scale it to a million. But the point is, this is how you capitalize on the bull run, the next bull run, in a way that nobody else is telling you about. This is what like all of them are doing. They're distracting you and they're not doing it on purpose. I don't know why. Like people don't teach this, but they're giving you all this news. If you look at the crypto YouTubers, influencers, everybody, they're giving you all this news. And it's like, I don't know, they're doing it for views, but it's like indirectly distracting the heck out of everybody because it's like irrelevant. Do what they're doing. Don't listen to what they say. Do what they're doing. Do what they're doing. They're all trying to create communities, right? And I'm going to show you a system where if you can start from zero, you're going to gain the skill set. Okay. So you don't even need money to start up. It's literally free. And you just have to gain the skill set of understanding crypto, which I think most of you get by now. Literally, if you can use MetaMask, if you can get your money off centralized exchanges, you can use MetaMask to a high degree. If you can go multi-chain, things like this, then you are already 90% ahead of everybody. You're like at the top 1% of skill set in crypto. If you use decentralized finance, you're at the top 1% of crypto. And there's like literally 100 million people that don't know how to do that you can help to do that. And if you help them do that, then you get paid for, that's what market making is. That's how you get communities together, is helping them do something like get into crypto, right? So most of you do understand crypto to a level. If you don't understand crypto, then you need to educate yourself and get to the next level. But I'm willing to bet that if you've been with me for a while, you guys really understand crypto. If you know how to use MetaMask, you are there. I'm pretty confident. So here's the plan, all right? You remember the last video when I asked you guys that question? Go watch the last video. It's pretty good. When I asked you that question, if you have $2 billion, how do you double it? Well, you attract as many people into the market as possible, and you essentially try to extract their money into your pocket. That's how you double $2 billion and become the market maker. So what I'm going to be showing you here is essentially how to become the market maker, how to entice new audiences into crypto so that you can benefit from teaching them something that's going to change their life. We all know crypto changed your life, right? I'm sure a lot of people leave a comment below. How much money have you made off crypto, right? It changed your life. So let's go change other people's life. You are about to become a market maker. And again, I want to be clear. You don't need to show your face or be public. Or, if you feel bad about being on the internet, you don't need to do any of these things. You don't need to show your identity. I mean, Plan B, massive market maker. This man has 1.8 million followers. He spread this whole entire narrative of, the stock to flow model that he created out of thin air, by the way. But it's like super spread, 1.8 million followers, and no one even knows who he is. He's literally an anonymous figure. Plan C then came out. No one knows who he is. He's been killing it recently. He has 158K followers. These guys are market makers and they're anonymous. How many anonymous people do you know are killing it? You don't need to show your identity, right? If you're an introvert, there's other ways around it. You could either work for a community and help them build it and get paid ridiculous lump sums of money, make six-figure salary, helping other people build their community, or you could do it anonymously. Now, I want to be clear. It's better if you do it with a face because people trust a face, I think, personally. That's in my opinion. But you don't have to, right? What's holding you back, right? You can do it part-time as well. You don't need to go full time into, making markets and developing communities. And really, like this developing community thing, I'm telling you, it works for any business model in the world. Because if you think about what I'm doing here, is I'm making markets. So if you have let's say hypothetically, I don't know, you're selling a supplement. If you want to sell a supplement, make a supplement market, right? Let's say there's the pre-workouts that are unhealthy, and you're making a new pre-workout that's supposed to be healthy, right? How do you get people to this new healthy pre-workout? You talk to a whole bunch of people that want that healthy pre-workout, right? It's literally it's literally just getting people to all think about one narrative and then using their money. They're using their money to think with it. That's essentially how coins work. People are investing their money into these coins because they all think a certain way. They all think that the narrative that this coin dropped is something that's worth investing their money and their time into, right? So it doesn't really matter what business you currently operate or what job you're currently in. Attracting people to a product is the most important thing. You could even call it a product, you call it whatever. Using people's motivations, right, to help them is the mecca of everything, okay? Like I explained to you before, the Federal Reserve controls the world to a certain extent with money. But really, it's not because their money's superior. Obviously, we have way better monies, right? Bitcoin is definitely better than the Federal Reserve, and there's obviously so many different cryptocurrencies that are better. Like when it comes to like speed, fees, like we all know this. But for some reason, the Federal Reserve still has a stronghold. It's because they control the narrative. That's why. They control the narrative that America's the best, right? And that America, has the USD, which is the best currency in the world. That they're just controlling the narrative. That's the answer. It's not because USD is the best by money. They control the world in the sense they make everybody think that USD is the best currency. You catching my drift here? It's a narrative. It's not because the money is the best in product. It's because they control the thought of everybody in the world to adopt USD. So think about that, right? Again, narrative is everything. So this is what I've done in the past, and this is actually very conservative. You can make much more per person, but if you reach out into new audiences, okay, you could easily make anywhere from $250 to $500 per person, depending on what you offer, okay? And again, I've done this myself, so I'm speaking from experience, and this is what everyone's doing, okay? So you can reach out to new people, get $250 to $500 per person, and this is conservative. Considering in Fundamental Secrets, we're about to offer an affiliate program that pays you $300 to $400 if they get into our product. So it's like there's so many products like that. There's Ledger, and you can pick and choose which company. You don't have to sell for centralized exchanges. I know some people do that, where they'll sell for like Celsius and they'll get burned. I try not to do that. I do it small, but that's not my main source of income. So you could start off by selling other people's services, right? And then build your own in the future. That's essentially what I did. So yes, there's so many ways. Ledger, there's so many good companies out there that if you sell their product, you can get paid up to $500 per person. And again, like I said, that's on the low end, right? But the point here is just to get people in crypto. Because remember, if you get them in crypto in the bear run, what's going to happen is their money's going to 5-10x. And then a lot of that credibility is going to go to you. And then you're going to make more money in the bull run because they're going to be, this guy just got me into crypto. He got me to make 10 grand. I can invest another 1,000 with him with whatever he has offering, right? The point is to build credibility and getting people money in crypto. That's basically the gist here. I know you guys remember, like back in the bear run, I was making these entrepreneurship videos, but then I was like, all right, let me just jump in crypto because I think it's going to be a crazy, trend. And I started showing people how to buy cryptocurrency, and I started showing people how to invest in it. And I showed them like, hey, the money's going to 10x and it's going to do this. And I started doing price prediction. And then a whole bunch of people bought the cryptocurrency because of my videos. And next thing you know, 3 years later, I'm getting these videos from people. I even put one on my Instagram where someone was like, hey, Alex, I watched your video during the pandemic and I made like $1 million. And this guy is going to invest in me in the future. He's gonna invest his time with my videos. He's gonna invest his money maybe if he wants to. You get the point, is that I built credibility with massive amounts of people, and you guys get the gist. Like I think a lot of you are understanding it because you were probably one of those people when I got you in last cycle, right? So the point here is to be that guy that is known for getting people rich in crypto, right? So I'm going to give you kind of the crypto pitch because there's so many people, believe it or not. I know a lot of people get mad or like, oh, this guy doesn't know crypto. But it's like, to me, I get happy. When someone calls crypto a Ponzi scheme, I'm like, I get happy.
Yep, that's me.
Because I know this person's never touched crypto. And if I can get him in and he makes money, again, I get a lot of that credibility. So here's a crypto pitch. It's very simple. Here's the motivations that you can use to reverse engineer them, right? First thing is first, you got to get them to believe that they can make money quicker here than any other industry, which you guys know is true, right? Housing market takes forever, right? To cash out, right? Stocks, they're not as volatile as crypto. Volatility equals profit, right? So we get these huge price appreciations in crypto. Like Bitcoin outcompetes like biggest stocks, which is sad. And some of these altcoins are getting 100x. So for a fact, making money in crypto is definitely better than anything else in any industry. So you just show them a couple of charts, you show them the price appreciation of a couple of charts, and they'll be like, okay, maybe it is better than real estate, right? Second one, you can say it's easier than any other industry. And it is, because really all you have to do is buy the bottom and sell the top. We all know that. And I know, that's hard, but look, if you make a 20% gain on something, it's much harder to make money off of that than getting a 500% gain. Right? Think about it. When you get a 500% gain, even if it drops 20%, you still made a ridiculous amount of money. So it's much easier. It gives you much more time in between the pumps and the dumps to get in or get out, right? And that's the beauty of crypto. The volatility does lead to profit. All you need is a Coinbase account and a little bit of guidance, which I'm going to show you guys how to offer that for free and how to make money off of that, right? It's the most lucrative opportunity in the world, right? It's very simple. Look at the biggest billionaires. You guys know this pitch. I motivate you guys when I show you the pitch, right? So you can call it a pitch, but it's really just the narrative of crypto. Look at all the billionaires moving into Web 3.0. Look at all the people moving into NFTs. It's just the narrative of crypto. That's the narrative of crypto, right? So it's not a pitch, it's just words, right? But it's basically this thing that's used to get people in crypto. And if you learn it, then you can pretty much get anyone. You can get the most anti-crypto guy into crypto. And if you do that, he is a part of the family. You have just created a market. If you get 10 people into crypto, you just market made 10 people. Think about that. Now, if you scale that up to 1,000, whoop-de-freaking do. You guys all know this, right? They're going to say it's a scam. What do I say? Well, why are billionaires jumping in then? Billionaires are jumping in a scam, I guess. I mean, Bitcoin has an ETF, right? BlackRock just partnered with Coinbase. I mean, I can go forever, to be honest. I'm not going to go into it too much, but you guys get the gist. It's not a scam. They're just thinking that it's a narrative in their head that they've been pitched to by somebody, right? Volatility is super risky, right? Super risky. Well, high risk, high reward, right? Like, I want volatility because the more volatile, the more price appreciation and the more money I can make off of shorting. So the volatility gives it a better chance for traders. It's obvious, right? And if it scares you, the volatility, well, guess what? When there's more adoption of crypto, the volatility will decrease over time. You see that narrative? Bada bing, bada boom, right? I have no time to do it. Well, you guys know you don't need to do anything crazy to get that price appreciation. I'm showing you guys cash flow and how to become financially independent. But if somebody wants to keep their job and just invest, buy the bottom, bro, and then sit and forget. You guys know the narrative. See? You see what I'm doing here? Like some of you, you could use the narrative to your advantage, but don't fall victim yourself. Use it to help other people get in, but don't fall victim yourself, right? Think of what I'm doing here. I'm literally showing you guys how the game is made, okay? Once you understand this, right? Once you understand these things, and that's kind of like a sneak preview perspective, but once you understand how to overcome their limited beliefs and how to motivate them, it's a numbers game. It's a joke. It's literally leverage one social media. And again, you don't need to put your face. You don't need to go on even your personal account, none of that stuff, and do it to a high level and scale, right? And this is the answer. This is what everybody misses. This is how I've been able to develop multiple people. I'm talking about 5+ for free. I didn't even try. I just did it because they were around me. They're literally around me, and it happened. Because of this one thing right here with social media. Brainstorming and batching. Bro, if you just do this, like, here's a guaranteed way to make $25K in 48 hours. I'm pretty confident. I've done it over and over again. So it's not going to be 25K lump sum in your face, but it's going to be 25K over time if you do it right, okay? And I know for a fact. Find 50 of the most viral pieces of content. I don't care what platform you choose. It doesn't even matter. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it does not matter. It does not matter what you want. And obviously, we're sticking to the cryptocurrency niche, but really this works for any niche. If you want to become a fitness influencer, it works for the fitness industry. If you want to become whatever, it works for that industry guaranteed. It doesn't matter. You just pick a niche, okay? And I'm just going to say in perspective of crypto, and you find the 50 most viral pieces of content. All you have to do, whatever platform it is type the keyword in crypto, and then you go to top post, and it shows you all the top posts created about cryptocurrency and the most viral ones in the past month. And you literally see the most viewed posts, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to get 50, and you're going to save it into a Word document. Okay, you're going to save it, Word, whatever you want, note-taking document. You're going to save 50, and you're going to save the links, though. You got to save the link so it's easily clickable. And you click it, and then you can open it up on your computer or your phone, right? Save it on a sheet, click it, and then make your own version. Sit there for 3 hours. I made 100 videos. Marty made 120 videos in like 8 hours. So for 50 videos, you could probably do it in like 4 or 5 hours, right? So sit there for 45 hours. It doesn't even have to be 50. It could be like 30. But 50, I think, is a good number. Sit there for 5 hours and get 50 pieces of content, okay? And then click them and remake them. But don't copy them. Just make them in your own version. Kind of say what they did, remake them, your own version of it, and then spend the next day editing and launching. So the first day, you should be able to aggregate the content and shoot it. And some of it's not even shooting it. Some of it's just copying and pasting on a tweet. But you should be able to aggregate the content and then create your own versions, right? The first day. And then the second day, you edit it and you schedule it out, right? So let's say hypothetically you pick Instagram. Well, you schedule out 2 to 3 posts a day for whatever amount of days. 50 days, that leads to like what, 20, 30 days, whatever the case is, right? 15 to 30 days. You do two posts a day, that's 25 days worth of content shot in literally 48 hours, edited in 48 hours, and you put it out there. Now, that's basically the beauty of building communities, is that 50 tickets, okay, that's 50 tickets for you to hit the lotto. Think about what I'm saying here, because when you make 50 trades, you're putting your money up, right? So when you put your money up, essentially you could lose your money. But in this case, you're only losing your time, which a lot of you're cash broke, but you're time rich. You have like billions of hours of time, right? You're a billionaire in time. So right now, instead of you spending your money on trading and losing on trades, right, all the time, some people are good at trading, so you could spend your money. Instead of just spending your money, you could spend your time. And these 50 posts are essentially 50 tickets to hit the lotto because if one of them goes viral, which by the way, I've gone viral so many different times, I've gone viral more than 20 times. These 50 times, if you go viral once, you're set for life. Like I'm telling you right now, if you go viral once and you monetize it the right way, you are set for life. So these are tickets to hit the lotto and you only had to spend your time. Think about that, right? And then what you do is you put a little link, which is free, by the way. Calendly is free. And Calendly is just a scheduler. And you could schedule appointments for someone to get on a Zoom call with you or get on a call with you, right? You send them to that link. And then what you do is you get up to sign up to all of your affiliate programs. So again, remember I told you can make anywhere from $250 to $500 per person. It doesn't happen all at once. You don't get the $500 lump sum right in your face. But what did I tell you? You got to have delayed gratification, right? So if you send them to that link in your bio, and then you get on a call and you're like, hey, I'm going to show you how to invest in crypto. You show them how to set up their Coinbase. You spend 15 minutes with this person that knows nothing about cryptocurrency. Then you can get up to sign under your Coinbase affiliate link. You can get them to sign up under your Binance affiliate link. You can get them to sign up under your Fundamental Secrets affiliate link when we come out with that. You can get them to sign up with all these things, right? And then later on in the cycle, when they start making money and they start spending money, you got them signed under your link. And then next thing you know, you're making $20 here, $40 here, $50 here off this person. And it adds up, right? Everybody talks about passive income, but it's just a numbers game. The reason why income is passive is because they've been doing it for so long. They built up this massive value snowball. It's like a snowball. They built up this massive value snowball and did it for free for so long. This is what I did. I made like 600 videos before I ever made a cent on YouTube. You build up this massive value snowball in the bear run, and then when the bull run comes, you reap all of the benefits of this massive value snowball, right? So it's a numbers game. I'm gonna break it down for you. If you drop 50 videos and you don't go viral, let's say they only get 300 views on average, right? Some of them will get 50 views, some of them will get 1,000 views. So let's say hypothetically they give you 300 views on average. Well, that's 15,000 views. If 1% of those people click your link on Calendly, right? If you put some good call to actions and they click your link, right? That's 150 people showing up on your Calendly, right? Let's say 1/3 show up on the call. Well, that's 50 people showing up on the call. And then if you're making $500 a person, well, there's your 25K. It's just not going to happen all at once. Nothing good in life happens all at once. You can't get a six-pack going to the gym one time, right? It doesn't work that way. But if you do this in 48 hours, you're building the momentum for the future. The delayed gratification. This 2 days worth of work and the 25K will pay you off in a year, 2 years, whatever the case is. And that's essentially what I did. I built up this massive, okay, I'm trying to explain to you, this massive value thing in the bear run last cycle. Last cycle, I was working for free like a madman. Massive value, just giving out all this information, fundamental analysis systems, showing people how to use Coinbase, showing people how to get into crypto, showing people blah, blah, boom, right? And then next thing you know, I reaped the benefits and made millions of dollars in the top of the bull run. That's how it works, right? If you want to get that rat race paycheck, right? That's the positive reinforcement loop that they keep you in, right? They allow you to make money every 2 weeks, but they discourage you from working for free because they know that what I just explained to you is going to happen, right? So if you work for free and hardcore deliberate and give people value, that comes later. That comes back later. But they want to keep you in this mindset of, oh, no, I got to get paid now. But then you don't get paid and then it discourages you, right? Nobody gets paid in the beginning. That's how it works, is you work your butt off and then you get the credibility to get paid eventually. But in the beginning, you got to get that credibility, right? So they keep you in this negative feedback loop of you getting paid every 2 weeks so that it's literally a rat race. It's literally them holding a piece of cheese in front of your face. That's the whole point, right? So again, obviously you won't make 25K at once, but over time, you know, those people will turn into $500 per person and it will turn into more. Some people turn into a lot more. If you get a higher net worth individual, they turn into a lot more, right? So again, yeah, you've heard of passive income. Nothing's passive unless you put in the work in the beginning, right? It doesn't work that way, right? And then in the future, when you have this big cash flow system, which is basically what I did, then I could hire people to eventually do that value for me. They do it for me. And I know you guys know Marty, Johnny, and all those people that work for me. Marty and Johnny made $175K in 2021. Right? They're doing all they're building the value and making money directly. And then they're building us our future, right? And I'm doing it still too. Even with this video, I'm showing you guys the answers right here. I'm building value for you because I know you're going to do business with me in some way, shape, or form in the future, right? You're going to do business because I helped you. Who wouldn't do business with people that helps people, right? That's the point. It's like people just want, they want the handout. They want the immediate gratification. I don't care. I just help 5,000 to 10,000 people. And that's all that matters to me, because I know somewhere down the line, that's going to benefit me because I'm helping you guys make money. If I help you guys make money, then you help me make money. That's how it works, right? So at 500 a person, all you need to do to hit your first $1 million is get in 5 to 6 people a day. You're catching my drift. I could literally go on the street right now. Forget social media. I could literally go on the street, talk to 30 people a day, and get 5 of them to sign into crypto. Let's talk, 50 people is not hard to talk to. It's like 10 people an hour for 5 hours. I could literally go to the richest part of Miami and talk to 10 people an hour and get 5 people into crypto every day. And if you multiply that by 500, there goes your first million, guys. And then what are you going to do? We all know the investing part, right? We get that 5 to 10x off crypto. You take your million, you get the cash flow. Oh, I'm laying it out for you guys, okay? You see me excited, right? I'm excited now because I'm laying it out for you guys, right? You get 5 people into crypto every single day. That builds the cash flow, gives you the cash for you to invest into the market. You get your 5, 10x. And then you start trading the same way I did, right? I made like 4 million off of buying crypto, and I made like another 4 million off of getting cash flow in. So for me, it was a little bit of both. I made a lot of money off of investing in Ethereum, and it gave me this positive reinforcement. And in that bear market, I started getting other people into crypto. And that's valuable. That's valuable. I made millions of dollars off of trading, and I made millions of dollars getting people into crypto. And that's why I've been able to maintain my wealth. And this is why I'm financially independent. You can't just have one. You have to have both because it keeps you consistent. I showed you. You need the small wins and the big wins, right? Invest that money, right? Get that million, get 5 people a day, even if it's 2 people a day, right? If it's 2 people a day, that's $500,000. Think about what I'm saying here, right? Invest that million, get a solid 10x, right? And you guys know, man, countless influencers are doing it. Pretty much everyone you know with credibility is doing it. Everyone you know with credibility is trying to build communities. This is the secret that everybody's pretty much been holding back from you. I want you to imagine a life where you do what I do, where I could literally just take my laptop. There's nothing here but a laptop. I use my background because it keeps me focused. But you guys see me, I can go anywhere I want and make videos. I can go anywhere I want and trade. Everything from a laptop. Trading, making videos from a laptop, anywhere I want, as long as it has an internet connection, right? Imagine a life where you could literally go to the beach, right? I live in Florida. I could literally go to the beach and make money. It's a free life. It's the internet life, right? But you need cash flow and investing to get financially independent. You can't just do investing. It doesn't work that way. You need cash flow through day trades, short-term trades, which this is for number-oriented people. And then you can get the cash flow from building communities. You build communities, day trade. Those are 2 cash flow systems. Pick one and do it. And that cash flow will give you the consistency. And then you get those big, big wins by investing the liquidity into the market and getting your 10x. That's basically what I do. My business goes where I go. I can travel the world and I'm still making money. I can do everything I've ever wanted, right? I'm about to go buy a boat. I'm literally about to go buy a boat. I got to withdraw like 100K. I'm going to go cash buy a boat. I'm going to buy a house with a dock, okay? Like a lot of people talk about Lamborghinis. I said this in my recent Instagram story. Like Lamborghinis are not a flex, right? Because if you buy a boat and shit hits the fan, right? If the world goes under for whatever reason, we go into World War VI. The boat, like you can go to another island, man. Like think about it, right? It's something that I've always wanted. So I'm buying a boat. That's my next goal. I'm getting a $5 million home. I'm buying a boat. I'm living on a pier, in Pompano Beach, Fort Lauderdale Beach somewhere. And that's kind of like what I want to do. I want to wake up every morning, and this is my motivation, and I want to go on a boat with my laptop. I want to make videos on my boat. And then when I get tired, I'm going to jump into the water and experience South Florida to its full potential. There's no reason to be in South Florida unless you got a boat, in my personal opinion, because it sucks over here. Crime sucks. It's very expensive. So the whole reason for South Florida is the beach. So the biggest mecca of the beach is a boat. So I'm getting a boat. I'm getting a yacht. And I don't know what dreams you guys have, but you got to get after it, right? I've made millions off of trading. I've made millions off of cash flow. Both of them are the answer, and this is what keeps me so consistent. But the truth is, everyone wants to keep this for a secret. I don't know why, but it's like, it just doesn't make sense. I don't know if they're trying to keep it as a secret or they just insecure about their own trading abilities. I think that's really what it is. They want to seem like they're the greatest traders in the world and that they don't have anything else and they make all of their money trading. But I'm just going to tell you the truth because I really don't care. Regardless of what you guys think about me, I make a lot of money. I do 6 figures a month consistently. And this is in the bear run while all of them are struggling. So it's both. I'm a great trader, fam. I'm a great trader. Ask any respectable trader. I'm starting a fund. You think I can start a fund without being a great trader? I'm a great trader, but I'm a better market maker. It's both. Think about this. Think about what I'm talking about here. I've literally made money off of buying altcoins, but I've also made money off of getting people into crypto and making them veterans. And this is why a lot of people respect me. And I'm just going to leave this here, conclude this video. You can keep doing what you're currently doing and, go into that Discord group, right? And, talk to each other and get the confirmation bias from all those people. And they're all like, oh, yeah, I got this new alpha, right? You could be the old bear market version of yourself, right? The old broke version of yourself. And go to these free Discord groups and try to go to every single new alpha place, right? And let the narratives manipulate you over and over again. With people trying to shill you their coins, just to be clear. That's like a small marketing strategy. That's a small narrative, by the way, when they try to sell you their coin, right? You can keep doing that, playing a small ball game, right? And play with your little broke friends in the free Discord groups and literally do all this pointless stuff and continuously look for alpha. When you know damn right that the coin that they're trying to sell you is for them to try to pump their own bag, and there's some anonymous guy that you've never met on the internet, basically, right? And they're basically doing this small ball marketing game to get you to buy their stuff. You can keep doing that and continuously get destroyed by other market makers, right? Them taking advantage of you, selling before you can, right? And controlling the market. Or you could become the market maker yourself and exit that system. The choice is yours. Think about what I'm talking about here. And by the way, I'm going to leave my newsletter below. We're going to be talking a lot about these subjects. And I'm going to be sending out 3 emails a week, very high valued emails that shows, how I was able to become a market maker, that shows how, my trading strategies work, fundamental analysis, and things like this. So definitely sign up to the email newsletter below. It's free, by the way. I'm not like charging anything. And it actually gives you some real tangible value. It's not some BS email letter that doesn't, give you any value. I promise you won't put it to spam. And if you do, you could just go ahead and exit it or whatever the case is. But I'm telling you right now, like I'm giving a lot of these secrets away that you won't find on YouTube or anywhere else. But the point is, like, the choice is yours, man. Like, you can keep doing the same old BS, or you can kind of just get with the people that you look up to so much. You're like, I don't get it. Like, you look up to these influencers, right? You look up to these people that own hedge funds, but you're not doing what they do. It doesn't make sense. You're just getting continuously taken advantage of by these people that you glorify so much. It doesn't make sense. And I wanted to leave this right here, and I put a tweet out, and I think it's really important. Exiting the matrix is not a pill. They want to make it seem like it's a pill because it's like something like external. That's the purpose of it, right? You got this whole movie and it's like, oh, I'm going to exit into the matrix, right? And they make it seem like it's this external thing that you have to pop for it to happen. No, it's not a pill. It's a mindset. You can change it without doing nothing. It's the way you think. That is exiting the matrix. I made a funny joke. I said it was a big pharma advertisement. Maybe that is it, but whatever the case is, it's not external. It's internal. You must change yourself to exit the matrix. It's not a pill. It's a mindset. And we're going to leave it there. Definitely enter my newsletter as well as follow me on other social medias. Hopefully you got some value. But the goal here is to develop cash flow and investing. You can't do one side or you suck. And it's not going to work. You're never going to become financially independent. And I don't think anyone on planet Earth could argue with what I just said. I will publicly debate anyone, CoffeeZilla, any of these guys. I don't care what they say. This is the truth. This is what they are doing. This is what I have done. And I told you guys that my whole proposition on this channel is to tell you the complete and total truth on how I make my money. And that's what we're doing here. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, get left behind then. Catch you guys in the next video.